Our top story, President Cyril Ramaphosa is in the Democratic Republic of Congo attending the inauguration of Felix Tshisekedi, who was re-elected president of the DRC, amid serious disputes by the opposition leaders who have called for a fresh round of the polls. We now cross live to SABC News Political Editor Mzwandile Mbeje, who is in the DRC's capital, Kinshasa, with the latest. Mzwandile, a very good evening to you. Tell us how the inauguration of Tshisekedi commenced. We understand that the proceedings started about 4 hours late. What took so long?
Oh, well, a very good evening to you and the viewers. And indeed, the inauguration has just concluded, like literally now. As I'm speaking to you, you can see the camera is pointed at the newly elected president, Felix Tshisekedi, who has just delivered his speech after this long delay of about 4 hours. We did check earlier, Alicia, to say what could have been the reason. I mean, even our own president, I guess we were told there was a lot of traffic in terms of air traffic coming into the DRC. It's possible that they may have waited for the presidents who were taking a bit long to get here. But that's just my assumption. But the fact of the matter is that the proceedings have started and then they've basically concluded. The presidents of other countries are now congratulating the president of the DRC, who has now been sworn in and then, of course, has just delivered his speech. Part of the key speech in what he delivered, because we did manage to get the English translation, I think he mentioned, about 5 key priorities that he wants to pursue in his next 5-year term. He is basically saying the issue of job creation will be quite high on the agenda, particularly amongst the youth, because there's a lot of people who are not working. So he wants to prioritize that. He also wants to extend the services, really. He says the people of the DRC do not have the services, and then he would want to leave a legacy where the majority of the people of this country would have been able to really benefit from his presidency, especially Alicia, because he has been given an increased mandate. Remember, controversial as the elections or the results were, but he did get an increase. In fact, in his speech, he did speak about why the vote of confidence looked so high. So there was a number of other parties at the 11th hour who decided to throw in a lot with his alliance. So it basically gave him that kind of trust that the Congolese are trusting him, that he could be the main driver again. And then he's saying, so he will use this opportunity to then attract investment and diversify the economy of this country. He did indicate that there's huge potential. There's a lot of untapped issues really around growing the economy in the DRC. So as he's speaking to his colleagues now, so we do assume, Alicia, that they are congratulating him and perhaps urging him to say what you've spoken about, we are willing and ready to cooperate with you.
And we know, Mzwandile, that there was more than 18 heads of states as well as scores of other dignitaries and delegations that were invited to be part of the inauguration today. Who actually came through to support Tshisekedi?
Well, as you have said, I mean, to have 18 heads of state from the African continent is quite huge. Obviously, our president was here or is still here, and then the president of Zimbabwe. I'm speaking about some of the presidents that I saw myself. The president of Congo, remember we are in the Congo, which is Congo Kinshasa, and then the president of Congo Brazzaville, so which is the Republic of Congo, is also here. We have the president of Gabon, we have the president of Kenya, we have the president of Senegal. So there's quite a number of other presidents who have come to offer support as he gets re-elected. And I think, Alicia, they are actually realizing as well to say, as the leaders of this continent, it's incumbent upon them to be able to seize these opportunities, because these opportunities and these authorities, they carry And these mandates, they are being given by people. It's about time they started using them. So I guess the showing of the number here by these presidents is testament to say they really want to do work with the DRC. Obviously, there are still issues in the East, and the president of the DRC did allude to that, to say one of the 5 key priorities that he mentioned, he wants to restructure the security of this country, because he says he cannot afford a situation where this territory will be threatened. And I assume he's speaking about the clashes that are continuing in the eastern DRC. In fact, during his campaign trail, he was very direct in terms of accusing Rwanda of sponsoring some of the groups that are operating that side. As we know that the SADC mission has taken over there, they have given themselves a mandate of at least 12 months to bring peace and stability in the area. Obviously, it's not only going to be a military solution. We know that the political solution will be very key, because the MONUSCO, you know, the force that was supported by the UN, has been there for close to 30 years. So they didn't really achieve much. There were instances where there was peace, but somehow things didn't turn out well. So we hope as this president takes over, he probably will be able to reignite that and perhaps be able to get forces together, not only responding militarily, but also engaging his colleagues politically to find a lasting solution.
Very quickly, Mzwandile, is Ramaphosa expected to engage in other state activities while in the DRC? We know that he was attending the 19th Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Uganda.
Well, from what we've heard, we've just been in communication with the presidency team. It doesn't appear that there's a lot that the president is going to be doing. In fact, I think he arranged his trip in a manner that he's able to attend all the key meetings that were happening in this region. So we expect him to fly out either tonight or early tomorrow morning. So there's no other serious engagement that the president is expected to have. But as you know, Alicia, time and again, they do meet with the president of the DRC. I guess there'll be an opportune moment where they'll be meeting. And then, of course, we have had the binational commission that took place sometime last year, late last year here. So those issues really will probably be re-emphasized now that he has been re-elected.
All right, we're going to leave it there. That is SABC News Political Editor Mzwandile Mbeje, live to us from the Democratic Republic of Congo.